Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Yesterday, it became official. Nico Iamaleava is off to UCLA. No real surprise there. You can see the Instagram post. He says, first and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for his grace, for continuing to bless my family, and for allowing me to live out my passion each and every day. He goes on. He says, to the amazing people in Knoxville, thank you for embracing me and uplifting me throughout my time there. I'll be forever thankful for the support you showed me every step of the way, and I'll always cherish the relationships I built there and the memories I created with my brothers. I believe with all my heart that I gave my all as a volunteer. I'm truly grateful for the time that I had at UT. He goes on and says, my journey at UT has come to an end. This decision was incredibly difficult and truthfully not something I expected to make this soon, but I trust God's timing, and I believe he's leading me where I need to be. Even though this chapter is ending, a new chapter has begun, and I am committed to UCLA. Now, you may be saying, Boogie, why are we talking about Nico? You said we were done. You said we were moving on. You said we weren't coming back to this. Well, the reason we're going back to talk about Nico is because him committing to UCLA is opening up an opportunity, maybe a window to find our next quarterback at the University of Tennessee. It's just kind of comical to me. Nico goes from making over $2 million a year at Tennessee, held us hostage for over $4 million. I've seen it all over Twitter that after taxes, after everything out in California, he's going to be pulling home around $900,000. So to tie a bow on the Nico era and kind of open up the window of what we're going to talk about in this video is good luck to Nico. I think some people around him made some bad decisions, and he is going to have to live with those, but I'm going to wish Nico the best as he moves forward with his career. What does this mean for the quarterback position at Tennessee? We have a new target on the board. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it, but as always, I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff. Smash the thumbs up just below the video. It's quick, free, and easy. It helps the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. We're not experts or insiders here. We're not reporters. We don't pretend to be that. What we are is exactly what you guys are. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, subscribe. Click the bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. If you want to support a little bit more, think about hitting that join button down below. It's $1 per month. You keep the lights on. You allow us to bring you content. You get custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, access to fan call-in shows. We're going to be doing a members-only stream coming up soon. So make sure you support the channel. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. But let's go on and let's take a look. Let's kind of recap, right? Let's recap where we are at with trying to find a quarterback, and whether that's a guy that's going to compete for QB1 or that's a guy that's just going to add depth to the room, because you've got Jake, you've got George. We've heard a lot of rumors. We've heard people talking about Avery Johnson, Sam Levitt. We've heard Damon Williams at one point. I think it was a fake Instagram post, but that's the way things work in 2025. You got to run down what's real, what's not. Wyatt Becker, the quarterback at Utah, a lot of people talking about him. Rocco Beck, quarterback at Iowa State, a lot of buzz. I think Ball Nation really ran with that one because a private jet is in his hometown in Tampa, but that got shut down. That was apparently they were there to see a donor. Rocco Beck, sources have told Pete Nakos and Steve Wiltfong that he's happy at Iowa State. He's not going anywhere. Steve Angeli is another one that we talked a lot about, quarterback from Notre Dame. It's been said that Tennessee is evaluating Steve Angeli, three-star prospect coming out of high school, also listed as a three-star prospect in the portal. Not played a lot of football. A guy that's thrown for less than 1,000 yards in his 2-year career, has 10 touchdowns to 1 interception. Most people know who he is because he made an appearance in the college football playoffs. So let's take a look at this. This was also on Twitter. Steve Angeli, Notre Dame transfer quarterback Steve Angeli, is set to visit Syracuse today. Man, what the world of college football in 2025. Imagine a guy that we talk about, a guy that a lot of people wanted to come to Tennessee. Now we're going to be going head-to-head if he ends up at Syracuse. Here's what the article from On3 says. It says, sources tell On3 Steve Wiltfong that Notre Dame transfer Steve Angeli is visiting Syracuse on Monday. Tulane and Virginia Tech are other schools that should be watched for the grad transfer. Tennessee continues to evaluate quarterback options. We think if Syracuse is on the gas for Angeli, they look like the favorite. So again, college football in 2025, a guy that a lot of us wanted to end up in Knoxville. We wanted him to end up on Rocky Top. We could be squaring off and going head-to-head with him in that opening week. But let's talk about UCLA. Why the impact of Nico going to UCLA? Well, that is because of this. And this is a name that some of you guys have talked a lot about. Today, Tennessee, Tulane, and Wake Forest are the early schools to watch for UCLA transfer quarterback Joey Aguilar. Pete Nakos reports. Now, Joey Aguilar did officially go into the portal today. No surprise. He was competing for the starting job at UCLA. They informed their quarterback room, hey, look, here's the deal. We're bringing in Nico, and immediately Joey Aguilar's agent picked up the phone and started making phone calls. This is directly from the On3 article. If you're not familiar with who Joey Aguilar is, it says Joey Aguilar threw for more than 3,000 yards in both of his years at App State, and his 3,003 yards ranked as the highest total in the Sun Belt. That came after an impressive 2023 campaign, which he threw for 3,757 yards and 23 touchdowns in 14 games as the Mountaineers finished 9-5 and played in the Sun Belt Championship. Goes on to say, before arriving at App State, Aguilar played 2 years at the JUCO level at Diablo Valley College. His decision to enter the portal came after the NCAA granted a waiver to former JUCO players with eligibility remaining in 2025. That opened the door for him to play one more season. So he's a one-and-done guy, right? When we talk about how complicated this is, when we talk about how Josh Heupel has to manage this thing because Nico put him between a rock and a hard place. Nico left him with a big hole to fill because you're in the spring portal window. You're not typically going and getting QB1 in the spring portal window. That's stuff that typically happens in December. These quarterbacks want to be at their home. They want to go through camp, and that's what Joey Aguilar was trying to do at UCLA. He was looking to take that next step, right? Jump from App State to UCLA, take that next step, go compete for a starting job. So he kind of fits this situation perfectly. He's a one-and-done guy. Are we going to trade Nico for Joey Aguilar? It's a guy you can add, not disrupt that room, a guy that you can add that maybe he's not going to force Jake or George to feel like, hey, I got to get out of here. This guy's got 3 years of eligibility. He beats me out. I'm done. I'm gone. This is a guy you can add to that quarterback room. You can have an open competition, but then you got to look at the flip side of it from Joey Aguilar's perspective. If he doesn't feel like he can win that starting job, is he willing to come to Tennessee and not be able to compete for that final season? And that's the big question, is where is Joey Aguilar with this thing? Now, you guys can make the App State jokes. My wife said, you're going downstairs to record and talk about Joey Aguilar? You got to put on an App State hat. Look, I've seen him in person. You guys know. I troll you guys all the time with App State stuff. I love to go watch App State play football when Tennessee's not playing. I've seen him in person. I saw him throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns against Georgia State in person this past season. He's athletic. He's just a competitor, man. He's a dog. He's gritty. He plays physical. He doesn't mind contact. He's not a running quarterback. He's not going to go out there and run the football 10 to 12 times a game, but he can extend plays with his feet. The athleticism, he's good at throwing on the run. He gets the ball out quick. Could he be the starter in the SEC? Could he be the starter at Tennessee? I don't know, man, but what a story. On3 in this article puts it out there. It says multiple sources tell On3 that there are 3 early schools to watch for Aguilar: Tennessee, Wake Forest, and Tulane. Aguilar's camp made calls last week to gauge interest. Now, I was going to jump on here and talk about this, and right before I hit the record button, this came out from On3. Report: Tennessee meeting with former UCLA quarterback Joey Aguilar after Nico Iamaleava transfer. It says UCLA officially adding Nico in the portal on Sunday changed things for Joey Aguilar, who transferred this offseason, as he intends to transfer again per news on Monday. Now, it could all come full circle based on a reported meeting for him later today. ESPN's Chris Lowe reported that interest that Tennessee would have in Aguilar upon his official entry into the portal. Lowe later posted a quote tweet noting that the two sides will be having a meeting later on Monday. Two sides slated to have talks later on Monday, Chris Lowe wrote. So what are your thoughts? Is Joey Aguilar, is that the next quarterback? Is that QB1? Have we found our guy in the portal? What a story, man. College football in 2025 is crazy. What a story it would be. Nico to UCLA, Joey Aguilar to Tennessee, a trade 1-for-1. Who ends up on the better end of the deal? What are your thoughts? Jump in the comment section. Let me know. As always, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up just below the video. It's quick, free, easy, helps the channel. I would appreciate it. Go check out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. That link is in the description below. We got Buck Famous shirts. We got State Pride logo shirts. We got new Nike merch, man. The Nike swoosh on Talkin VAWLS merchandise. We got golf polos, quarter zips, coffee mugs, travel mugs, whatever you got. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. That link is also in the description below. But that is going to do it for this one. This It's the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.